Okay. Today we will start from the chapter 4, agriculture. So, last day I have discussed up to periodic test, which chapter will come. In periodic test, obviously first chapter will come, and this agriculture chapter up to which portion we will complete before the exam, up to that portion you will prepare for periodic testing 2. If before this exam agriculture chapter will completed, so agriculture chapter will come, or if half portion will be completed from this chapter, so up to this topic, first chapter and this chapter, the half portion will come in your periodic test exam, and obviously you know that MCQ pattern you will get question paper, and also that's why you have to read very carefully each and every portion of this chapter. Okay. Food crops other than grains. I hope from that part today we will start. Yes, total marks 20. So, obviously from SST geography portion you will get 5 marks question. So, it is also as usual, the last year also have this same type. So, till now the date have not fixed, that is why when dates will fix, obviously we will convey to you. So, do not worry about that matter, you will just prepare yourself, not only for prepared MCQ question, long question answer also you will prepare from the last chapter and this chapter also. Yes, therefore 20 MCQ, yes. So, now last day up to which portion we have completed in this chapter agriculture, anyone can tell me? Chapter 1 and what I have told, first chapter will come definitely, Nourin. If before exam this chapter will completed, so this chapter will come. If this chapter will not completed, up to those which portion we have completed, up to this you will prepare for your exam. So, as usual, because now you know that class 10, 12, 9, there have not of this type of particular separate syllabus for term 1 for periodic test, etc. So, up to which portion we will complete it, up to this topic will come in your exam. Very simple. Last year also you have done the same process. Okay. So, anyone can tell me up to which topic we have discussed last day? Up to pulses completed. Okay. So, student, today from page number 40, food crops other than grains we will start. Okay. So, food crops other than grains, among these sugarcane is the first one. This is one of the most important food crop other than grains. It is a tropical as well as subtropical crops. Obviously, these two terms, tropical and subtropical, you have already heard this term so many times in a previous classes. The tropical and subtropical, these both places, you have to remind their location. According to the latitudinal extension, tropical region in between 10 degree north to 10 degree south, and subtropical 10 degree to 30 degree north and 10 degree to east, south to 30 degree south. This place, but this region is included in tropical and subtropical region. That means in that region temperature always remain high. So it grows well in hot and humid climate. Hot and humid climate with a temperature 21 degree to 27 degree centigrade and annual rainfall in between 75 to 100 centimeter. So temperature and annual rainfall, you have to remind it. It is very easy because you know that this type of temperature and rainfall you can found only the tropical and subtropical region. So that is why these two part is very important. Irrigation is required in the region of low rainfall. Obviously, it is also the same like the last few crops also you have read this, where sufficient amount of rainfall does not occur on that particular area, agriculture, instead of the agriculture rainwater, irrigation should be required for doing the agricultural work. So that is why those regions having low amount of rainfall on that particular areas, irrigation are required. It can be grown on a variety of soil and needs manual labor from sowing to harvesting. So manual labor is also very important for growing this type of crop. Manual labor, for what? Manual labor is required for doing agricultural work like sowing to harvesting, because you know that it is a time consuming, that means so many months also time will take for from the crops grown and mature. That is why manual labor also very important or required, and India is the second largest producer of sugarcane only after Brazil. So you have to remind these two names. First one is Brazil, is the first, and then India is the second. You have to remind this. So according to the leading position of the production of sugarcane, Brazil is the first position and India is the second. It is the main source of sugar, gur, khandesari, molasses. This is the different type of product which we will get from the sugarcane. Obviously, among them two part. First one is sugar and second one is gur. It is very common in our surrounding or in our market also we can found this, or it is very essential commodities. So these commodities will form or will produce from the sugarcane. Sugarcane also as a raw material in the sugarcane industry. When you will read this chapter industry, obviously you will read this. Now the major sugarcane producing states are, you have to remind this name of the state. Major sugarcane producing states are obviously Uttar Pradesh. Obviously Uttar Pradesh. In our West Bengal some places also have, but not a remarkable, not a important or large scale. So that's the Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka. Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab and Haryana. These are the important states for the sugarcane growing area. So obviously you have understood about the production of sugarcane, which type of climatic condition is required, and obviously sugarcane produce varieties of soil. That means different type of soil we can produce sugarcane, obviously using different type of fertilizer and pesticides, using different type of insecticides and manures also, as well as subtropical and tropical region. What is subtropical and what is tropical region, you know, according to the location. Don't take snaps. Only seen the black spot, black box. I don't know why this type of answer. Sugarcane is also seen growing in the some part of the village in Bardwan, but it is for self consumption. Yes, yes, Amit Karan, it is correct. in Bardwan district, not only Bardwan, in some parts, state district of West Bengal also produces sugarcane for their self consumption, not a large scale. Okay, that's why the in our state's name have not in your book. Understood? So this one, and also you will remind the temperature and rainfall both 21 to 27 degree temperature and 75 to 100 centimeter rainfall also required, as well as this sugarcane is the second largest country producing country second after Brazil. And also what are the importance of sugarcane? You know that it is a source of sugar and gur, khandesari, molasses, these are the other materials, and also you have to remind the name of the states. So this type of question if will come, write a short note on sugarcane producing or sugarcane crops in India. So on that time you have to mention this. Okay. Now next, this is the oil seeds. This is the oil seeds. Today we will read oil seeds. Different varieties of oil seeds are found in India. Different varieties of oil seeds. Oil seeds obviously extracting oil from their particular seeds. There are, you know that India is the largest producer of oil seeds in the world. So according to the production of oil seeds, India is the leading position. Different oil seeds are grown, covering approximately 12% of the total cropped area of the country. So all over the India, if 100% is total cropped area, among them 12% area where oil seeds are produced. So that's why obviously it is important. The main oil seeds produced in India are groundnut, mustard, coconut, sesame, til, soybean, castor seeds, cotton seed, linseed and sunflower. These are the major important oil seeds. So if in your exam this type of question will come, what are the important oil seeds which are produced in India? So you have to remind this name. And most of these are edible and used as cooking mediums. Obviously you know that among the maximum oil seeds extraction of oil, that means maximum type of oil are also using for prepare the food or different type of part. And however, some of these are also used as a raw material in the production of soap, cosmetic and ointment. So you have understood this different type of oil seeds name, their area where this type of oil seeds are produced. Now later on I will discuss this, but before that, according to the production all over the world, India also the first position for producing the oil seeds, and as well as also different varieties of oil seeds are produced in India, such as groundnut, sesame, coconut, mustard, castor seeds, linseed, cotton seeds, sunflower. These are, and also among them maximum oil seeds are used as a prepared food, and rest few part or few of them used as a raw material in the industry for production of soap, cosmetic and ointment. Groundnut is a kharif crop and accounts for about half of the major oil seed produced in the country. Understood? The groundnut is a kharif crop and account for about half of the major oil seed produced in the country. Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat and Maharashtra. So among them, groundnut is a kharif crop and account for about half of the major oil seed produced in the country. Among these 12%, you have know the crop area of oil seed, and half of these major oil seeds are groundnut, and the Andhra Pradesh is the largest producer of groundnut, followed by Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Gujarat and Maharashtra. Linseed and mustards are rabi crops. Sesame are also kharif crop in the north and rabi crops in south. Castor seeds grown both rabi and kharif crop. So you have to remind some oil seeds name which is produced in different season, kharif season, rabi season also, and some of them like castor seeds are also used both means both part, as well as rabi as well as kharif. When you read about the crop, you have to remind these three seasons, Kharif, Rabi and Zaid. I hope you have understood about this different type of cropping pattern or cropping season in India. So up to this, if having any queries you can ask me now, otherwise we will start next crop tea. So before that, if having any queries up to this portion, sugarcane and oilseed? No. This is spot. So we will start from the next crop tea. Okay, listen. Now the next crop, this is tea. Obviously, when you have read the types of agriculture, plantation agriculture you have read, and also among these plantation agricultural crop, the one of them important, this is the tea, and tea cultivation is an example of plantation agriculture. You have read this part. I hope you have understood this. The plantation agriculture, tea also is the example. It is also an important beverage crop. Important beverage crop, and also that means we will getting some energy from drinking tea, and also after that beverage crop introduced in India initially by the British. Obviously, this is also important question, that the crop tea introduced by which country in India? This is obviously by British, and today most of the tea plantation are owned by Indians. Nowadays obviously this system have changed. Indians are owned by the tea, and also government also have taken some tea garden for producing tea. The tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climates, endowed with deep and fertile, well drained soil, rich humus and organic matter. Very important characteristics for growing of tea. What are the requirements? The tea plant grows well in tropical and subtropical climate, like sugarcane, tropical and subtropical climate, you know that, and endowed with deep and fertile, well drained soil. Well drained soil means obviously after the rainfall occurred, the rainwater should be replaced or removed from that tea field, tea agricultural field, because if water will stag, it is also harmful. That's why well drained agricultural land, well drained soil is also very important. And also the land structure and soil, well drained soil rich in humus and organic matter. Rich in humus and organic matter. This is also the two other important criterion for the growing of tea. And tea bushes require warm and moist, frost-free climate. Frost-free climate means if snowfall occur, it is also very harmful for the tea plants or tea trees. That's why these tea bushes require warm and moist, frost-free climate all through the year. Frequent shower evenly distributed over the year ensure continuous growth of tender leaf. Frequent shower also required. That's why if you will go to any mountainous region in our state, if you will go to Darjeeling, you will see some water sprinkler which are already installed in the tea garden, because by this water sprinkler, water also supplied like a shower, it also distributed water in this tea garden. And also these tea bushes required frequent shower evenly distributed over the year ensure the continuous growth of tender leaf. Tender leaf means those leaves we will use for prepare the tea. These leaves also will grow very well if sufficient or frequent rain water or frequent water if they will get. Tea is a labor intensive industry. In that, when you will read the plantation agriculture, on that time also you have seen that for the growing of this plantation agriculture, agricultural labor are also required, migrant laborer are required. So migrant laborer obviously this one, and capital intensive. So it requires abundant, cheap and skilled labor. Tea is processed within the tea garden to restore its freshness. Major tea producing states are Assam, hills of Darjeeling and Jalpaiguri district of West Bengal. These are the two important parts, hills of Jalpaiguri and Darjeeling district of West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Kerala. Apart from this, Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh and Tripura are also the tea producing state in India, tea producing state in the country, and India is the leading producer as well as exporter of tea in the world. So obviously you will remind this, that India is the major important tea producer as well as exporter, because you know that from India all over the worldwide Darjeeling tea is famous. So obviously India is the main producer, and after that India government earned huge amount of foreign money by exporting the tea crops all over the world. So this is also very important. And which places or which region the tea producing area? So main are Assam and hills of Jalpaiguri and Darjeeling district of West Bengal. Apart from their southern part, Nilgiri mountain region, they are having the well drained soil. That's why Nilgiri mountain range or on that areas, Kerala, apart from this Tamil Nadu, then Himachal Pradesh, Uttaranchal, Meghalaya, Andhra Pradesh and Tripura also producing state. Someone typing, Satadip, what is your question? Now I will see your question first. Sir, if tea bushes require warm climate, then why they grown in a mountaining? Because it is the cold there. No, actually what happened, the warm climate obviously it is very essential, but in mountain region the tea crops are growing because they are having a slope land, which is very important. It is also well drained. If rainfall occurred, the water easily removed. That's why it is growing in that areas. But you have seen, not only very cold places you can find the tea garden. You will find the foothills of the mountain. Like Darjeeling or Jalpaiguri district, there I have written, but in proper Darjeeling, they are foothills of the mountain range. On that particular areas you can find so many tea garden. Just they are having some slope or not very steep slope. So that areas also applicable or appropriate for growing tea. But obviously they are having cold bound temperature or cold season. But you know that throughout the year, during the winter season, the temperature be getting very cold, but rest of the time they are having the moderate temperature. So which is also helpful for growing the tea. Okay, they are having no problem or trouble for the growing of tea. That's why it is important. So in the mountainous region, the tea growing area, the major factor, they are having a well drained soil. That means water does not stag in that agricultural field. Water is easily removed. That's why these areas applicable, or mountaining foothills or slope of the mountain is appropriate for tea garden. So on that time, on that places, climatic condition is not a major factor, but obviously it should be concerned that if the snowfall occurred, obviously this is harmful. Okay. So up to the tea production you will read. From next day we will start coffee, and if having any doubt, total all the major crops up to the tea. Now you will ask me, I will give 5-minute time. Today I will not discuss any new topic. Next day we will start from coffee. Now you will ask me, having any queries? And rest of them, you have read these major crops. You have to remind each and every name of the place where these crops are grown. Recording. Stop.